Hi everyone, I am R.V. Kiran, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Chevrolet Engineering College. Today, in this video, I am going to explain about a small topic of the first unit, that is precision. So in this precision, the major topic to be discussed is gyroscopes. So this is my second class in the dynamics of machinery class. So first of all, what is a precision? So we are going to the introduction of gyroscopes here. So first of all, we are going to study about gyroscopic couple. So in the right side picture, you can see the gyroscope device. So gyroscope device is a balanced device. So which we can see an example of a top. So బొంగరాన్ని మనం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గా తీసుకోవచ్చు దీంట్లో. So this gyroscope frame has spin axis and a rotor which is perpendicular to the axis of rotation, and a covering is on the top side of the rotor, that is called gimbal, and a gyroscopic frame is attached to the end of the gimbal with a pivot links attached to it. So coming to the gyroscopic couple, there are two types of forces acting on the gyroscope. First one is the active force and second one is the reactive force. This active force depends upon the curved path and it also moves along the curved path with a uniform linear velocity in the direction of centripetal acceleration. We can call it as centripetal force also, and this is applied externally over the body. So this centripetal force is applying on externally over the body so that it moves along the required curved path. So it is moving on the x direction as well as y direction depending upon the axis of spin. Then this external force applied is known as the active force, and to the compulsion of it there is another force also. When a body is moving with uniform linear velocity along a circular path, so when it is moving in a circular path, it is subjected to the centrifugal force radially outward in direction. So in the active force we are going it in the centripetal force only, but in the reactive force it is in the centrifugal force, that is radially outward in direction. Generally centrifugal force is applied on the outside part of the gyroscope, that is called as radially outward in direction, and this centrifugal force is known as reactive force. So this centrifugal force is called as reactive force. Now let's take attendance of this class.
Dinner for present, sir.
Lateral 314 present, sir.
I will take a screenshot of the picture. Do not respond
Okay,
anyone.
sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, lateral 3 is only 1, sir.
So this is based upon the two forces, that is active force and reactive force. So when we combine these two forces, that is active force and as well as reactive force, it is combined is called a gyroscopic couple. So the couple of forces acting on the gyroscope is known as the gyroscopic couple. So that is the least amount of curved path turned by the or balanced by the gyroscope in its own axis, that is in the spin axis of spin. So that is known as active force and reactive force. So when we combine these two forces, then it is called as a couple on the gyroscope and it is called as gyroscopic couple. Next, moving to the second minor topic, precisional angular motion. So what is a precision? First of all, what is a precision? So let us consider a disk revolving or spinning about the axis OX. So you can see in the picture also. So there are only one axis. OX is the major axis, that is the major axis or main axis, that is known as axis of spin. So a disk is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction there with an angular velocity of omega. So omega is the angular velocity here. So then when it is revolving after a short interval of time t, the disk goes to the new axis of spin. So the disk moves to the axis of spin to the OX dash. So you can see it in the left side of the picture with an angle delta theta, that is known as new axis of spin. So this new axis of spin has the another axis that is known as OX dash with a time interval of t, and this has a different name of angular velocity that is known as omega plus delta omega. But in the earlier axis the angular velocity is omega. So here the direction of viewing is from the right side of the disk, that is on the anti-clockwise when seeing from the right side of the disk. But if you see the disk from the left side of the spinning, that is left side of the axis of spin, its direction is clockwise in direction. So using the right hand screw rule, the initial angular velocity of the disk is represented by the vector OX. So the OX direction is known as vector OX and the final angular velocity of the disk is represented by the OX. Then the vector XX represents the change of angular velocity, that is angular acceleration of the disk. So if it moves from the OX axis to the OX dash axis in the active couple, that is in the active force, and next it comes from the new axis of spin to the axis of spin in the reactive force. So that is the main difference here. So we have already studied about the axis of spin and active force and reactive force in the earlier slide. So in this slide the axis is changing from the OX to OX dash, then it is called as the active force, and when the disk is coming from the OX dash axis to the OX axis, then it is known as reactive force. So this type of momentum or this type of couple is known as gyroscopic couple, and this angular motion is called precessional angular motion with an angle of delta theta. So this is the main components in the precessional angular motion. So this precessional angular motion can be asked in the short answer question only, not in the long answer. It is on the short answer questions only. So the vector double x represents the change of angular velocity in time. That is the angular acceleration of the disk. Angular acceleration of the disk only. So this may be resolved into two components. First one is the parallel to OX and second one is the perpendicular direction to the OX. So these two components change the direction of the disk, that is on the angular direction of the disk. So this is called as the active force and reactive force, and these two combine to form a gyroscopic couple, and this gyroscopic couple is the best example for the precessional angular motion. So this is the basic components. So first one is the axis of spin in the OX axis, and second one is the new axis of spin, that is in the OX disk axis, and the disk moves at an angle of delta theta, and two types of angular velocities have been observed. First one is the omega in the OX direction and omega plus delta omega in the OX dash direction. So you can see clearly in the right side picture of the slide. So observe it for a while. So next, coming to the derivational structure. So we have to observe a formula for the precessional angular motion, that is omega into omega p. So we know that omega is the angular velocity for the axis of spin in the axis of OX, but omega p is known as precessional angular motion, that is how far this disk have been moving in the angular motion of precession. So there we have to observe the formula. So this is the basic derivation of the precessional angular motion. So taking the components from the OX, so taking the components from the OX, we are taking it as alpha t. T is the time taken for rotating the disk from OX to OX dash. So t is the small t is the time taken for moving the disk from OX to OX dash. So here we are considering alpha as the angle. So there is the derivation XR by delta t, that is OR minus OX is compared as XR, that is the distance between the linear velocities, and delta t is the time taken for the linear velocity. Then OX dash cos delta theta minus OX by delta theta delta t is the expandable angular velocity of the expandable angular acceleration of the center OX, that is line OX. Then delta theta is the very small, so we are substituting cos delta theta as 1. Taking cos delta theta as 1, we obtain the derivation, that is alpha t is equal to delta omega by delta t. So applying limits to it, so considering all the limits, they have been derived it into different forms. So at last we had a component of angular acceleration in the direction perpendicular to the OX, that is alpha c. So we are considering the angular acceleration in direction perpendicular to OX, that is not parallel to the OX direction, but it is perpendicular to the OX direction. So it is considered as alpha c, and the value obtained is omega sine delta theta plus omega delta into sine delta theta by delta t. So again, considering delta theta as a very small value, sine delta theta is taken as delta theta. So by applying all the values, that is neglecting delta omega into delta t, that is very small, alpha c is considered as omega into delta theta by delta t, that is the time value of the angular acceleration in the direction perpendicular to the OX, that is perpendicular to the OX value. So at last we getting the substituting value in the limits. There you can see the omega into omega p as the obtained value. This is the obtained value for the angular acceleration of precessional angular motion. So this formula is very important in the later structures, that is later problems. We are considering this formula as direct value for the gyroscopic couple. So we are adding inertia in the later developments, but this is the basic formula, that is omega into omega p is the basic formula for the gyroscopic couple for angular acceleration. Next, total angular acceleration of disk is considered as vector sum of alpha t and alpha c, that is this is the total value, but here we are considering the omega into omega p as angular acceleration of the disk, that is the simple angular acceleration of the disk is taken as omega into omega p. So here there are some more short answers regarding to this unit in the part 1. So there you can see d by dt is the angular velocity of axis of spin about a certain axis, that is which is perpendicular to the plane in which the axis of spin is going to rotate. So the axis of spin is going to rotate in the direction of axis of spin. So this angular velocity of the spin is known as angular velocity of precession. So these three lines is very important regarding to these three lines is very important regarding to the short answers. So repeatedly they are asking the three short answers here. So first one is the angular velocity of precession, second one is the axis of precession, and third one is the precessional angular motion. So this is the three lines we have observed, that is three short answers we have observed from the precessional angular motion. Let's see the first one. So that is the angular velocity of axis of spin is known as angular velocity of precession, and it is denoted by p. But this axis about which the axis of spin is to be turned is known as axis of precession. In the earlier we have studied about the only the angular velocity of precession, but here we are studying about the axis of spin to be turned, that is known as axis of precession. And last one is the angular motion of the axis of spin about the axis of precession is known as precessional angular motion, that is precessional angular motion. So when the angular motion of the disk is rotating in the axis of spin with perfect axis of precession, it is known as precessional angular motion. So this type of angular motion of spin is known as precessional angular motion. So these three is considered in the short answer question. And next one is the axis of precession is perpendicular to the plane in which the axis of spin is going to rotate. So considering the disk and the solid shaft of the axis of spin, the two components are perpendicular to each other because the disc is rotating in the axis of spin, but the disc is rotating in the axis of spin, but the shaft is rotating in the direction of spin. So that is the basic difference between the two. So if the angular velocity of the disc remains constant at all positions of the axis of spin, so then d by dt becomes 0 and thus C is 0. C means coupling. So C means couple, that is gyroscopic couple. So if the angular velocity of the disk changes the direction, but it remains constant in the magnitude, that is in the direction, then angular acceleration of the disk is given by, that is we can make the angular disk is alpha c. So this is considered as omega into d theta by dt, that is d theta by dt is taken as omega p, that is precessional angular motion. So omega p is considered as precessional angular motion. Then it is obtained as omega into omega p. So this is the basic formula for the angular velocity of the disk which changes the direction. So the angular acceleration c is known as gyroscopic acceleration. So this angular acceleration c is known as gyroscopic acceleration, which remains constant. So in the below picture you can see the car. So axle of the car, basic part of the car. So this experimental car burns hydrogen fuel in an ordinary piston engine, but it exhausts gases without no pollution, that cause no pollution because they contain only water vapor. So water vapor does not contain any pollution, that is it is a pollutionless cars. So this car can obtain the gyroscopic couple. So when it is balancing in the automobile, there is a chance of misbalancing also. So when there is an active force, there is also an reactive force. Likewise, when we are balancing the total body car with the all the body parts, that is the engine is kept in the basic design is the engine is kept in the front of the automobile. So in any type of automobile, the engine is kept in the front part of the automobile because of balancing. So here you can see the fuel tank is on the rear side, that is on the back side, so which we are using as hydrogen fuel. So this hydrogen fuel emits the vapor gases only, but here we are taking it on the basis of balancing only. So the evaporators can change the liquid hydrogen to the gases. So liquid hydrogen to the gases also. Then this picture is given as the additional information and is not taken as direct example of the current chapter. So because we are taking it as only the basic example for the current chapter only. So these are the two topics we are discussing today in this class. So next one is a big topic, that is why I am not starting the next topic today. Tomorrow I am discussing the next topic. So once again I am going to review the today's topics. So here in the precision we are taking the gyroscopic case. So gyroscope is a balanced angular version of the device. So it is a device which measures the balancing of an object. So we are taking the gyroscope as an example in the precision. So in the unit precision they are taking the gyroscope as the example. So in the gyroscope there obtains a gyroscopic couple. So in the gyroscopic couple, we are going to discuss about the two types of forces. So first one is the active forces, which is depends upon the centripetal force. So which moves the linear velocity and the force in the direction of centripetal acceleration, that is in the centripetal force. That one is known as active force, and second one is the reactive force. So it is on the centrifugal force only. So last in the active force we have seen the centripetal force, but the reactive force in the centrifugal force only, that is on the radially outward direction. So these two forces are combined to form a couple, that is known as gyroscopic couple. So these two forces are combined to form a gyroscopic couple. Next one is the precessional angular motion. So in the precessional angular motion, we are taking the rotating disk as an example in the axis of spin. So we are taking the disk and inserting it in the axis of spin, that is in the OX direction. So when it is used to rotate, with some speed in the anti-clockwise direction, it can be moved, that is one end of the axis is fixed and other end is a free end, that is a cantilever end. So it moves in the new axis of spin, that is in the OX direction, with an angular velocity of omega. So with an angular velocity of omega, we are moving the disk into new axis of spin, and we obtain an angle here delta theta. So delta theta is the angle obtained here. Next, this new axis of spin also contained some angular velocity, that is omega plus delta omega. So omega plus delta omega is the new axis of spin with regarding to the rotating of the disk. So it is seen from the direction of viewing. So you can see in the picture that it is seen in the direction of viewing, so which is on the right side of the disk. So there you can see it in the anti-clockwise direction, but if you can see it in the left side, from left side of the direction, you can view it in the clockwise. So that is the basic difference seeing from the two modules, that is on the left side and the right side. So when coming from the new axis of spin, it obtained a force called reactive force. So first one, we are going from the OX axis to the OX dash, that is known as active force, and when coming from the OX dash to the OX, it is known as reactive force. So the disk obtains a couple called gyroscopic couple. So it obtains a couple called the gyroscopic couple. Then coming to the vectors, it obtained a formula. So it can obtain a formula here by obtaining the angular acceleration of the disk. We obtained the omega into omega p as the basic formula for the angular acceleration of the disk. So we can use the angular acceleration of the disk as omega into omega p. But in the later situations, that is in the problems, we are also adding the inertia as the total angular acceleration of the disk. So this is the basic formula. Here we can see the some of the short answers, that is the angular velocity of precession, axis of precession, and precessional angular motion. So this is the three types of short answers regularly asking in the university exams. In every set they are asking these different types of short answers in the first unit. So we have from this angular elasticity of axis of spin is known as angular elasticity of precession, and the axis about which axis of spin is to turn is axis of precession. And last one is the angular motion of axis of spin. About the axis of precession is known as precessional angular motion. So these three are the basic amount of short questions obtained from the precessional angular motion. So this is the angular velocity when the disk changes its direction from the parallel to perpendicular direction of axis of spin. So this can be obtained by taking an example as an automobile car. So there in the picture you can see the automobile car. There you can define the value of it. So in an automobile car, the load is balanced in two motions. First one is in the engine and second one is the fuel tank. So generally all the automobiles consists of these two main parts, and engine is on the front part of the automobile and fuel tank is on the rear end, that is on the back end of the automobile. So these two are the conditions to be observed in the automobile. So here we are taking the hydrogen fuel as the fuel which is in the fuel tank. So from the hydrogen fuel we cannot cause any types of pollution. So no pollution is caused from the hydrogen cars. So latestly electrical cars also coming on the market. So this plays an important role in the future comparing to the fuel cars, that is the diesel or petrol cars. So this picture is given as additional information and is not a direct example. So this is not taken as direct example. For only understanding the student point of view, it is taken as an example only. And thank you. So let's take attendance. సో అందరికి అర్థమైందమ్మా ఈ రోజు టాపిక్స్ మొత్తం?
సెకండ్ పేజ్ అర్థం కాలేదు సార్, అది యాంగులర్ డయాగ్రామ్. అది సెకండ్ పేజ్ లో డయాగ్రామ్ అర్థం కాలేదు సార్. అది
ఇదా? ఇదేనమ్మా దిలీప్?
తెలుగులో చెప్పండి సార్, ఇంగ్లీష్ లో
ఏం లేదమ్మా, ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఒకసారి. ఇక్కడ ఓఎక్స్ అనేది మనం డిస్క్ తీసుకుంటున్న యాక్సిస్ ఇది. సో ఎప్పుడైతే మనకి ఆ డిస్క్ అనేది రొటేట్ అవటం స్టార్ట్ అవుతుందో యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ డైరెక్షన్ లో,
చెప్పిన టాప్ గురించి సార్ ఇది
ఏదమ్మా
ఇందాక ఐ మీన్ గైరోస్కోప్ చెప్పారు కదా సార్,
దాని గురించే
డయాగ్రామా సార్?
దాని గురించే ఇది. సో ఓఎక్స్ అనేది ఒరిజినల్ యాక్సిస్ మనకి. సో ఎప్పుడైతే అది స్పీడ్ పెరిగిద్దాం, మనకి ఇప్పుడు బొంగరం తీసుకుంటున్నాం కదమ్మా, బొంగరం మనం ఫస్ట్ లో స్పీడ్ తిరిగేటప్పుడు ఒకే యాక్సిస్ లో తిరిగిద్ది కదా. స్పీడ్ ఎప్పుడైతే తగ్గిపోద్దో మనకి కొత్త యాక్సిస్ లో రొటేట్ అవుతా ఉంటది అనమాట. సో అట్లా దాన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గా తీసుకుంటున్నాను. సో నెక్స్ట్ లెక్చర్ ఏదమ్మా? మెటీరియల్ ఇస్తానమ్మా, యూనిట్ అయిపోగానే ఇస్తాను.
ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ తో కూడా కలిపా సార్? ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మీరు చెప్తారా?
ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కూడా చెప్తానమ్మా, డిక్టేట్ చేస్తాను. ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కూడా చాలా ఈజీగా ఉంటాయి, మీకు ఈజీ వేలోనే చెప్తాను ప్రాబ్లమ్స్.
సరే సార్.
మా ఫస్ట్ 5 minutes లోనే రావాలమ్మా అందరూ, అప్పుడైతే అటెండెన్స్ కన్సిడర్ చేస్తాం. లేట్గా వచ్చి అటెండెన్స్ ఇవ్వమంటే మాత్రం నేను అడ్మిట్ చేయని చెప్తాను. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ అమ్మా.
సార్ ఇలాంటివి కొంచెం తెలుగులో చెప్పి కొంచెం ఐ మీన్ ఎక్కువసేపు చెప్తే బాగుంటది అనుకుంటున్నాను సార్.
ఓకే, మా నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ నుంచి చూద్దాం. తెలుగులో చెప్పొద్దన్నారమ్మా, ఓన్లీ ఇంగ్లీష్ లోనే